India and the United States have concluded their defense cooperation meet. The two countries agreed on utilizing the existing accords to their full potential. Let's tell you about the main defense cooperations. The Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement was signed in the last days of the Trump administration. Last November, in a 2+2 ministerial dialogue, that the agreement was sealed, and this will give India access to America's real-time geospatial intelligence. Now, this could enhance the accuracy of automated weapons like missiles and armed drones. Just like we use GPS on our phones for best and fastest route, this cooperation between India and the US could help the Indian Army with a high-quality GPS. This agreement could also turn critical to natural disasters response. The Communications Compatibility and Security Agreement was signed in September of 2018. The pact allows the US to provide India with an encrypted communications equipment. Now, military commanders of both nations can communicate through secure networks during times of both peace and war. According to this agreement, India could potentially communicate securely with other militaries that use US origin systems. The first defense agreement signed between the two nations was in 2016, the Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement. It allows militaries of the US and India to access each other's bases, supplies to spare parts, and inland facilities, air bases and ports could be mutually shared. This agreement is extremely useful for India-US Navy-to-Navy cooperation, since the two countries are cooperating closely in the Indo-Pacific. It took almost a decade to negotiate LAMOA. Our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, joins us for more on this. Good evening to you, Siddhant. Now, the two countries agreed on utilizing the existing accords to their full potential. The agreements are wide-ranging and incorporative, and they include communication and sharing of resources. Take us through the significance of these agreements for the two countries.
Well, a lot of significance given the fact that the U.S. Defense Secretary is here in India. We know that this is his maiden visit as the Defense Secretary to Asia. He has been to Japan, South Korea, and now he's here in Delhi. And the three-day visit saw a meeting with the Indian Prime Minister, with the Indian External Affairs Minister, with the Defense Minister. And the key focus, of course, was the wider Indo-Pacific region. Things which have been happening, including the fact that the standoff with China was one of the key factors as well that was discussed during the meeting of the Indian Defense Minister and the Defense Secretary. Later on, we saw Afghanistan being the key focus with the meeting at with the External Affairs Minister. So primarily, it is all about optics. The optics of this visit, which is not only visible here in New Delhi, but also visible in various global capitals, including Beijing.
Right, Siddhant, stay with me while we take a look at another element of Austin's India visit. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and the External Affairs Minister of India, S. Jaishankar, held a meeting. Now, sources have told WION World is One that the meeting lasted for an hour and that the discussions marginally focused on the strategic situation in the Indo-Pacific region. Austin also briefed Jaishankar about his recent visits in Asia. And sources also told us that the two leaders emphasized that a strong relationship between the US and India was only important not just for the two countries, but also for the rest of the world. Now, apart from the Indo-Pacific, the peace process in Afghanistan was discussed during this meeting, and according to sources, Jaishankar appreciated the Biden administration's engagement with India on the Afghanistan issue. Now, Siddhant, back to you. Discussions between Jaishankar and Austin did focus on the strategic situation in, as you've just mentioned, the Indo-Pacific region, and also the importance of cooperation for India and the US and its importance to the rest of the world. Now, this certainly highlights the key role that India plays in this region.
Well, of course, India plays a crucial role in the region, and the Indo-Pacific vision is at the heart of the entire conversations which are happening between Washington and New Delhi. But talking about this particular meeting between the External Affairs Minister and the Defense Secretary, Afghanistan was a key issue, and this is for the first time that there has been an in-person meeting of a top US official and an Indian minister on Afghanistan. We know that recently the Americans gave a proposal to the Afghan government talking about a 6-country foreign ministers conversation for peace and stability in Afghanistan. This is something that involves India as well. And of course, India has played an important role in Afghanistan, whether it's capacity building, whether it's infrastructure development. In fact, just a few weeks ago, we saw the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Afghan President jointly inaugurating the entire process of development of the Shahtoot Dam at the Kabul River that will provide clean water to the people of the capital city of Afghanistan, Kabul. Then, of course, mega infrastructure projects like the Afghan Parliament building, the India-Afghanistan Friendship Dam in the western province of Herat. So there are a number of key projects India has been involved in Afghanistan, and the focus is to make sure that stability remains in Afghanistan. And India's policy has been an Afghan-owned, Afghan-led peace process. And this is something that was reiterated today as well during the conversation between the two sides.
Siddhant, thank you very much for joining us with all the latest details there. We are now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.